Organology is the science of musical instruments and the classification. It embraces study of instruments history, instruments used in different cultures, technical aspects of how instruments produce sound, and musical instrument classification. There is a degree of overlap between organology, ethnomusicology, and the branch of the acoustics devoted to musical instruments. A number of ancient cultures left documents detailing the musical instruments used and the role in society. These documents sometimes included a classification system. The first major documents on the subjects from the West, however, date from the 16th century, with works such as Sebastian Verdung's Musica Getauscht und Ausgesungen and Martin Agricola's Musica Instrumentalis Deutsch. One of the most important organologists of the 17th century is Michael Praetorius. His Syntagma Musicum is one of the most quoted works from that time on the subject, and is the source of much of what we know about Renaissance musical instruments. Praetorius's Theatrum Instrumentorium contains possibly the first pictures of African instruments in a European publication. For much of the 18th and 19th centuries, little work was done on organology. Explorers returned to Europe with instruments from different cultures, however, so that by the end of the 19th century, some musical instrument collections were quite large. This led to a renewed interest in the subject. One of the most important organologists of the 20th century was Kurt Sachs, who, as well as writing Real Lexikon der Musik Instrumente and the History of Musical Instruments, devised with Erich von Hornbostel the Hornbostel-Sachs scheme of instrument classification, published in 1914. This remains the most common classification scheme used by organologists today, despite some criticism. André Schaeffner introduced a system based on state of matter of the sound-producing mechanism, giving rise to two top-level categories, solid and gas. With the invention of hydraulophone, the physics-based organology has been expanded to use solid, liquid, and gas, wherein the top-level category is the state of matter of the material that makes the sound. Reference to Kartomi's book, page 173. A number of societies exist dedicated to the study of musical instruments. Among the more prominent are the Galpin Society, based in the United Kingdom, and the American Musical Instruments Society, based in the United States. Elementary organology. Elementary organology is a classification scheme based on the elements in which sound production takes place. The elementary organology map can be traced to Kartomi, Schaeffner, Yamaguchi, and others, as well as to the Greek and Roman concepts of elementary classification of all objects, not just musical instruments. Thus, elementary refers to element as well as to something that is fundamental or innate. Elementary organology categorizes musical instruments by the classical element, i.e., prominent organologists: Ivar Derac, microtonal instrument builder; Leo Fender, innovator of several electric guitar constructions; Bart Hopkin, founder of Experimental Musical Instruments magazine; Erich von Hornbostel, co-creator of the Hornbostel-Sachs musical instrument classification system; Victor Charles Mahon, organologist and museum curator; Bob Moog, Harry Partch, microtonal string division musical theorist; Kurt Sachs, musicologist and organologist; André Schaeffner, Leon Thermine, Anthony Baines, historical organologist and early authority on bagpipes; ethno-organologists Mark Cherkassky, contemporary Ukrainian ethno-organologist, curator of the Museum of Ukrainian Folk Instruments in Kiev; Adolf Chybinski, Polish organologist; Andriy Humaniuk, Ukrainian musicologist and ethno-organologist; Margaret Kartomi, Australian ethnomusicologist and organologist; Mikhailo Kai, Ukrainian folklorist and ethno-organologist. Hnat Kokevich, Ukrainian engineer and musicologist. Filaret Kolasa, Ukrainian folklorist and ethno-organologist. Volodymyr Kushpet, contemporary Ukrainian ethno-organologist. Kliment Kvitka, Russian and Ukrainian ethno-organologist. Mykola Lysenko, Ukrainian composer and founder of Ukrainian Organology. Igor Matsievsky, Russian and Ukrainian ethno-organologist. Kevin Dorr, British ethnomusicologist and organologist.